Rich from Rich TV Live, and you can join the club at richpicksdaily.com, where you can join and win. We got a new pick for you today. We love copper. We love copper stocks right now, right here on Rich TV Live. We're going to talk to you about a new copper stock. Here's the symbol right here, KC in Canada, KCCFF in America, Kutcho Copper Corp. Put them on your radar. Put them on your watch list. They have a chance to be a big winner. Now, we're going to go through why. We're going to break it all down. I know it's super early. It's pre-market. Thank you guys for joining me. If it's early for you or wherever in the world you are, thank you guys for joining me. If you guys have a comment on the video, please put it in the chat. If you like these videos, smash the like button. Comment down below, share the video everywhere, and subscribe if you're live. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. So every time we have big breaking news, a new CEO interview, a new company that you just need to know about, you'll know first. It's true. And when you make a comment, I can answer your comment. If you have a question, put it in the chat. I'll do my best to answer your question. Now, I must remind you guys, the Rich TV Live is strictly for information and education purposes. Please do your due diligence, do your research before you invest in anything that we talk about or discuss here on Rich TV Live. Past performance is not always an indication of future results. We know we've had a phenomenal track record, winner after winner after winner. So I can't guarantee this is going to be the next winner, but the reality is I think it has a shot. I think it has a good shot of being a big winner. Financial forecaster, breaking news. Well, yeah, we got some big news. It's a copper stock, and we're going to get into it right now. All right, here we go. So this is their website. It's Kutcho Copper. All right, and their website is kutcho.ca. As you can see here, Kutcho Copper Corp. You can go to home, team, Kutcho projects, ESG, investors, information, news, and contact. You can see they are priced at 98 cents in Canada on the Toronto Stock Venture Exchange and on the OTCQX highest tier exchange in America, currently at 78 cents. So this is the website. Everyone should go to their website and subscribe for the latest news and events. Just go to subscribe now. All right, and I'm going to subscribe. There we go, just like that. All right, that's all you got to do to subscribe. And go back. You can see here, Kutcho Copper has a clear path to develop its 100% owned high-grade copper zinc project. Kutcho Copper Corp is a Canadian resource development company focused on expanding and developing the Kutcho high-grade copper zinc project in northern British Columbia, committed to social responsibility and the highest environmental standards. The company intends to advance the Kutcho project through permitting to a positive construction decision. So these are some of the key points of focus. I'm not going to go through all of the stuff on the website, but you guys are welcome to do that, okay? What I want to do is I want to go through the stock. We're going to go through the chart. We're going to go through the news. We're going to go through the company deck. So hopefully you guys can learn more about this company, and as a community, we can come to a consensus as to whether or not this could be another big winner for our community. Sven Piran says, thanks, Rich. Hope TAT will raise next month. It could be a game changer. Yeah, you know, TAT's already been a game changer for our community, and TAT's just getting started. It's an early stage, super hyper growth company, and it's going to go through ups and downs. So I don't think that TAT's doing poorly. I think TAT's done extremely well. But like all stocks that have gone up a lot, it has to consolidate until the revenues grow and until the next catalyst comes. Could be a NASDAQ listing, could be a big acquisition, could be big revenue growth. These are the types of catalysts we're waiting for TAT, and these are the types of catalysts you got to look for all stocks. So This is the Kutcho Copper website. What I want to do now is we're also going to go through. Let's go through. Now that you guys know their website, let's take a look at some more. We've looked at their website, so let's take a look at the news releases. All right, so here's the news. So here's the recent news that came in that we want you guys to be aware of. All right. So obviously it's important to understand all the news that's going on with a company. So here's the news. Kutcho Copper announces results of feasibility study. This is the most recent news that came out 2 days ago, and it looks like this. Kutcho Copper Corp is pleased to announce the results of the 2021 feasibility study for the development of the 100% owned Kutcho Copper and Zinc project in northern British Columbia. So these are the stats that are catching our imagination right here. Robust project economics, base case metal prices, $3.50 a pound copper, and $1.15 a pound zinc. Pre-tax NPV 7% of 737 million Canadian. IRR 31%. After-tax NPV 7%. 461 million. IRR 25%. That is enormous revenue potential. Spot metal prices at $4.50 a pound copper and $1.57 a pound zinc, pre-tax NPV of 7%. Now we're talking 1.467 million, so 1.4 billion, IRR of 51%, and after-tax NPV of 7%, or 931 million Canadian, IRR of 41%. So the revenue potential is enormous. Low cost production, cash costs of US $1.11 a pound copper, all-in sustaining costs of US $1.80 a pound copper, initial cost of 483 million Canadian. Initial capital cost of 483 million Canadian. So this is a huge project, 11-year open pit and underground mine life, metal production of 533 pounds copper, 841 million pounds zinc, 10.6 million ounces of silver, and 129.7 ounces of gold. Wow, that's incredible potential. High-grade mineral resource, 8 million tons, grading 2.26%. Copper containing 1.1 pounds copper, 764 million pounds copper, and wow, over 1 billion pounds zinc. In addition, 12.9 million tons grading 1.62% copper, containing 460 million pounds copper in the inferred category, 312 million pounds copper, and 449 million pounds of zinc. This is just incredible finding. Stable mining jurisdiction situated in northern British Columbia, Canada, one of the safest global mining jurisdictions, located in the traditional territories of the Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation. Now let's hear from Vince Sirachi, who actually just interviewed this week. Stay tuned to the CEO interview. It's coming soon. Let's hear what he had to say about this. Vince Sirachi, president and CEO of Kutcho Copper, commented, "The feasibility study represents a major milestone for Kutcho Copper as we continue to advance the high-grade Kutcho Copper Zinc project towards a development decision. The significant redesign and engineering of the project delivers a mine plan that is a predominantly open pit mining operation with the concurrent development of 2 underground mines. The mine plan has resulted in a technical, robust, and capital-efficient project with a minimized footprint. The results of the feasibility study highlight the attractive economics of the Kutcho project, which are resilient at lower metal prices, very attractive at base case prices, and exhibit significant leverage to rising prices as reflected in spot prices, with a Canadian 931 million after-tax NPV, 7%, and a 41% IRR. We believe that the results of the feasibility study mean that Kutcho Copper is now one of the most undervalued copper investment opportunities in North America. That's right, in North America. You can see Table 1 feasibility study headline results, which we broke down. So the potential is absolutely outstanding. You can see the project valuation, metal prices, base case, mineral reserves, project technicals, produced metal in concentrate, and operating costs. So capital costs, I mean, this is not going to be a cheap project. We're talking about a $589 million project, but the end result could be enormous, absolutely enormous. All right. And you can see here figure 1 sensitivity of base case after tax NPV 7% and IRR to metal prices and US Canadian figures. And you can see here the NPV and IRR sensitivity to metal prices and percentage increase linked to copper price. So you can see here the potential is absolutely enormous. Absolutely enormous potential here. So this is a company that has a chance to be much bigger than what it is. And we're going to go through the chart. It's already done extremely well. And you can see the NPV and IRR sensitivity to copper prices, only zinc, silver, and gold at base case prices. So enormous potential. Absolutely enormous potential. So let's talk about the project summary. The Kutcho project is located in northern British Columbia, approximately 100 kilometers east of Dease Lake, within the traditional territories of the Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation. The project described in the feasibility study contemplates mining the main and Esso deposits to extract mainly copper and zinc, with minor quantities of gold and silver. The main deposit is designed to be mined primarily as a conventional shovel and truck open pit operation, with a deeper remnant mined by underground longitudinal long hole open stopping with cemented rock fill. The underground Esso deposit is also designed to be mined using LLHOS and CRF. A total of 17.3 million tons is planned to be mined over an 11-year mine life, with 14.5 million tons coming from the open pit and 2.8 million tons from the underground mines. A steady state crusher production rate of 4,500 tons per day is expected to be achieved by the end of the first year of operations. After primary crushing at an average steady state rate of 4,500 TPD, an ore sorter utilizing an X-ray transmitting XRT sensor would remove low-grade and waste material from the feed to the SAG and ball mills, followed by conventional floating, regrind, and dewatering circuits. Approximately 3,900 TPD of ore would report to the milling and flotation circuit after ore sorting. A total of 533 million pounds of copper and 841 million pounds of zinc as primary products, and 10.6 million ounces of silver, 129,000 ounces of gold is anticipated to be recovered to concentrate for sale. Huge Huge findings. The project design includes an extensive progression reclamation program, including the backfilling of the open pit and water treatment during operations and for the closure period. The project is located within the traditional territories of the Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation. Kutcho has a good working relationship with these nations and has started discussions with both to develop economic participation agreements that would safeguard their interests, provide deployment, and benefit the nations economically. Feasibility Study participation. The study was led by CSA Global and included the support of Sim Geological Inc., All North Consultants Limited, ABH Engineering Inc., Minite Consulting, Terrain Geoscience, Pitau Associates, and Onsite Engineering Limited, all of which are independent of the company. So this is the environmental, social, and governance environmental. So the Kutcho project is designed with environmental protection in mind. Final closure and reclamation were key drivers in the design process. Various environmental protection and impact mitigations are incorporated, with the highlights being, I'm not going to go through all of that, and then they go through the social, which we talked a little bit about, and then they go through the governance. They go through the location and access. The Kutcho project is located in northern British Columbia, approximately 100 kilometers east of Dease Lake and 425 kilometers north of Terrace, British Columbia. Access to the site during construction and operations would be via an upgraded 120 kilometer gravel road that joins the Stewart Cassiar Highway 37 directly south of Dease Lake. In addition, a 1,000 meter long airstrip is located about 10 kilometers to the northwest of the mine site. First Nations and local communities. You have to have a relationship with the local communities and First Nations, and Kutcho is all over it. You can see here, the Kutcho project is located within the traditional territories of the Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation. The closest community to the mine site is Dease Lake. Traditional use of lands and resources in the vicinity of the project have been documented for both the Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation. Kutcho Copper is committed to working and consulting with the First Nations following a jointly developed consultation plan. To this end, Kutcho Copper and the Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation have already signed several agreements. Kutcho Copper has also initiated discussions to develop the access road to the project site in partnership with Tahltan Nation and Cascadena Nation. The mineral resource estimate for the Kutcho project was prepared by Sim Geological Inc. in accordance with the current CIM standards, definitions, and guidelines, with an effective date of 30 July 2021. Mineral resource tabulated below are inclusive of mineral reserves. Table 2 is the Kutcho project estimate of mineral resource inclusive of reserves effective the 30th of July 2021. So you can see all the resource classifications, measured, indicated, measured plus indicated, and inferred. That is the main deposit, the SO deposit, SUMEC deposit, and then the combined deposit. The mineral reserve estimate for the Kutcho project was an effective date of November 4th, 2021, was prepared by CSA Global Limited and reported in accordance with the National Instrument 43101. The mineral reserves are estimated using current CIM standards, definitions, and guidelines. Mineral reserves for the project are a subset of the measured and indicated mineral resource. The mineral reserves are inclusive of diluting material that would be mined and delivered to the processing plant, and include suitable discounting to allow for losses typically incurred during mining. This is the Kutcho project mineral reserve estimate, and this is effective literally this week. So you can see the mine sections, reserve classification, mineral type. So we're talking about sulfide, oxide in this chart here, run of mine, diluted grade, average NSR, and contained metal. You can see the SO underground, main underground, main open pit, and underground total reserves. So you can look at all considerations and project development and disclosure plan. So we're not going to go through all of it. It's a huge press release, but clearly these guys have it going on. And you can see here the ore by source and NSR, ore crushed tonnage sources and NSR in Canadian dollars per ton. So metal revenue is astronomical. So we love finding early stage companies. This is a company that has incredible potential. This is the Kutcho Project open pit and underground mining statistics, including pre-production. You can see ore mined, mining cost, mine life, waste mined, strip ratio, ore rehandle, waste rehandle backfill, total movement, and mining costs. And the metallurgy and processing, this is the Kutcho Project flotation feed grades. So you can see the gray line is silver, the gold line is gold, the black line is zinc, and the orange line is copper. And table number 5, Kutcho Project processing and concentrate production. So you can see here ore crushed, copper concentrate, copper grade, zinc grade, silver grade, and gold grade. Zinc concentrate. So, I mean, we're talking about mining some of the best assets all within this one company. This breaks down all the infrastructure, tailings and water management, and labor. So this is all in the press release. So it's a massive press release. We're not going to go through all of it because it would be here all day, but we're going to go through some of the key points. Capital cost estimate. So the feasibility study outlines an initial pre-production capital cost estimate of $483 million, including an average contingency of 10.6%. Sustaining capital costs, undiscounted, including contingency, over the life of the mine are estimated at $90 million. Initial open pit mining capital costs cover site developments for the pits, haul roads and stockpiles, and mining to provide construction material and expose ore for processing. Initial underground capital costs include the construction of the underground portal, development to access the main and ESO deposits, and other infrastructure. The mobile mining fleets would be leased from the equipment suppliers. The initial deposit on leased equipment, typically 25%, are reflected as a capital cost, with the remainder paid off over several years and treated as a mining operating cost. So they break down all the fees and costs. This is table 6, the Kutcho Project capital cost summary. So break down the mine costs, processing plant, on-site infrastructure. Like, this is a huge project with enormous potential. And I'm telling you guys, with electrification of electric vehicles being mandated by countries all over the world to really be at a high level, 50% or higher, depending on the country, by 2030, copper is a key ingredient for electric vehicles and many other things. So I believe right now is the time for everyone to be looking at copper stocks. And that's why I think everyone should be looking at Kutcho Copper. This is the Kutcho Project operating cost summary, excluding pre-production. So you can see the open pit mining costs, underground mining costs, processing costs, and general and administration costs. So very expensive project. Obviously, mining is very expensive, but when you find a large deposit and you start pulling out those elements and you start selling them, these stocks can go berserk. And the Kutcho Project cash costs and all-in sustaining costs. You can see there, breaks it all down. And concentrate selling costs, table number 9. These are the Kutcho Project concentrate selling costs. Treatment charge, refinement charge for copper, refining charge for silver, refining charge for gold, penalties, transport to port, port charges, insurance, and ocean freight. So they got this all figured out. And royalties, a 2% NSR royalty held by Royal Gold Inc. over certain portions of the project has been applied to the cash flow models for a total of $26 million undiscounted. They break down taxes and economic analysis. So the economic analysis undertaken for the feasibility study assumes that a copper and a zinc concentrate would be produced. The copper concentrate would obtain value mainly from copper, but also from contained silver and gold. The zinc concentrate would primarily obtain value from zinc, but also gold and sometimes silver. Kutcho Copper intends to sell the concentrates to either traders or refineries that would not directly produce metals. Appropriate deductions for treatment, refining, transport, and insurance costs are applied as summarized in Table 9. Penalties for impurities and deleterious elements have been applied to the copper and zinc concentrates as noted in Table 9. The analysis assumes that the project is 100% equity finance. The base case metals prices and exchange rate used in the economic evaluation of the projects are copper $3.50 a pound US, zinc $1.50 a pound US, silver $20 an ounce US, gold $1,600 an ounce US, and exchange rate of 76 when you're comparing US to Canadian dollars. 76 cents to a dollar. One Canadian dollar is worth 76 cents US. There's no guarantee that any of the metal prices used in the base case or sensitivity case are representative of future metal prices. The results of the pre- and after-tax economic analysis are provided in Table 10. So you can see here the contribution of the project economics by metal type is approximately 65% from copper, 23% from zinc, 6% from silver, and 6% from gold. So this is Table 10, Kutcho project, summary of economic valuation, NPV no discount with a NPV of a 7% discount, and annual average net operating income, IRR, and payback period. So you can see the after-tax results in millions, very, very lucrative. You can see pre-tax results and after-tax results are extremely lucrative for Kutcho Copper. And this is the cash flow summary. This is what everyone wants to see. So the revenue from concentrate sales, copper, for the life of the mine could be access to $2.3 billion. Zinc could be $804 million. Silver, $219 million. And gold, $225 million. Incredible. And then total revenue from concentrate sales, $3.5 billion. Net smelter revenue less royalties, $2.9 billion. And total operating costs of $1.1 billion, with a net operating income, EBITDA, for the life of the mine of $1.8 billion for a stock trading under $1 in Canada. That's right. Incredible, right? I know. And you can see the net operating income, EBITDA, with total capital of $589 million, with a net pre-tax cash flow of $1.2 billion, taxes of $422 million, with a net after-tax cash flow of $841 million. So they've got a precious metals purchase agreement, environmental studies, and permitting in place. And the qualified person is Robert Sim, who's the geologist. A qualified person, as defined by NI 43-101, is responsible for the estimates of the mineral resource presented in the news release and has reviewed, verified, and approved the contents of this news. Huge, huge, huge. And it goes on to talk about more geologists that have also been preparing the documents. Technical disclosure, So once again, about Kutcho Copper. Kutcho Copper is a Canadian resource development company focused on expanding and developing the Kutcho high-grade copper zinc project in northern British Columbia, committed to social responsibility and the highest environmental standards. Company intends to progress the Kutcho project through the feasibility study and permitting to a positive construction decision. And then it breaks down CSA Global. All right, so that was the big news release. Lots of information that we just went through there. All right. Wow, we got some questions here. Let me just go through this with you guys. Wow, I didn't see all these messages here. KW Property Management, please ask Seti how. Okay, that's nothing. This. Why the stock price no chance to raise? Good morning, Rich TV Live. Good morning, Amanda. Huge revenues, Amanda. My title says TAT. Yeah, I don't know why my title says TAT. It's supposed to say Kutcho Copper. We'll get that fixed. I don't know why they're having problems here, but we'll get that fixed. Maybe you can help me with that, Crypto Man. You can put that in the title. That would be very beneficial if you could, because I don't know why it's doing that. All right, let me see. Maybe I can fix that, because that's really odd. All right, and let's go to the, all right. I want to go to the chart. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys the chart now. So this is the chart of Kutcho Copper. I don't know what's been going on with Restream, but they've been having a lot of glitches lately. So this is the Kutcho Copper chart I want to show you guys, which is extremely impressive. So August 2020, it was at 19 cents. So this has already been a huge winner, obviously. You could see that this has been trending up from 19 cents last year to where we are today at 98 cents. So obviously that this has already been a huge multi-bagger for Canadian investors. Congratulations to anyone who got into this stock. But I believe this is just getting started, because when I just talked about all the stats and broke down all the stats, we're talking about a huge opportunity here for investors. And in America, KCCFF, you could see here, the chart looks really interesting and similar, right? You can see right here, look at the chart, looks extremely similar. That's a 6-month chart. If we go to the 1-year chart, this is the 1-year chart. So it had this huge move up to $4 and then came right back down. If we go to the 6-month chart, you could see that it's made this move here from a low of 37 cents to where we are today at 78 cents. So clearly it's trending up, right? It's trending up. And then if we look at some other indicators, let's go and look at some other indicators. Let's look at the RSI and let's look at the MACD. So I always like to look at the RSI and the MACD. So you can see here the RSI is definitely in a good zone. All right, you can see here that the MACD is crossing down, which is actually kind of bearish. And you can see that the RSI is kind of right in the middle of the zone, which tells me that it was up. When it went up, came back down, lost steam, and now could be ready for the next leg up. And with news like this coming out, and with a company like this in the copper sector with so many assets to mine, I think we could see this go up a multiple from here still, because we just talked about how they could potentially be mining for millions, hundreds of millions, and potentially billions of dollars of assets in the ground, primarily copper and zinc, some gold, some silver, and other elements as well. But you could clearly see that this is a chart that is extremely bullish and trending up. And that's what we look for. We look for stocks that are trending up, and that are really good growing companies that are on a dip where we can buy at a good price. That's what we're looking for, and that's what we think we have found here with Kutcho Copper. So those are the charts. All right. Went through the news, went through the charts. Now, what I want to do is we want to go through the fundamentals. Yeah, I don't know why the title didn't update. I've changed the title, but we'll get that changed and we'll get that fixed. Not sure what happened there. A little bit of a glitch here on Restream. So this is the Kutcho Copper deck we're going to share with you now. I'm going to share with you the Kutcho Copper deck. All right. And we're going to get into the specifics and the fundamentals of the company. Okay. The news broke down most of the information on Kutcho Copper. Let's go through the company deck. It's 35 pages, so we're not going to go through all of it, but you can see here Kutcho Copper Zinc Feasibility Study headline results, robust project economics. And we went through most of this, but you can see it very clearly. 11-year open pit and underground mine life, high-grade mineral resource, 22.8 million tons of copper, 12.9 million tons of inferred copper, and 1.1 billion tons of copper and zinc combined, 460 million pounds of copper and zinc. So really unbelievably large potential here, significant leverage to rising metal prices. You can see the robust economics at base case metal prices. So you can see here the potential is enormous. We've gone through a lot of this already, but this will just reiterate some of the key facts. Now, this is what I like to look at here. The economics of the company. Share price in the last 12 months, you can see that the stock's gone from 25 cents to $1, and capital share structure, 98 million shares issued and outstanding, 8.5 million stock options, 15 million warrants, so fully diluted about 120 million shares, and share ownership, 10% Capstone, 7.4% Wheaton, big names, and 5% management. That's the share structure and breakdown. And Wheaton provides over 100 million financing package, precious metals stream, US 7 million provided to fund the feasibility study, US 58 million for development capital, up to an additional US 20 million towards development capital if Kutcho expands to a 4,500 ton PD operation, ongoing cash payment equal to 20% of the application spot price. Stream will decrease to 66.67% of gold and silver production. And you can see the metal percent contributed to revenue and base case metal prices. And a development-friendly region with a number of major projects in various phases of development and construction with local skilled workforce. I'm telling you, it's huge potential here, guys. I love to bring you guys good quality companies. I'm telling you guys right now, this company is extremely high quality, and you can see here a developmental friendly region with a number of major projects in various phases of development and construction with local skilled workforce. And I've spoken to the CEO, and he's extremely excited about what they're doing, and there's a ton of potential. So I think everyone needs to be aware of what they are doing. Everyone needs to be aware of what's going on here. The potential is absolutely outstanding. You could see here the Taltan and Cascan Dana agreements. We talked about how they need to be working with the people that are on the land, and they're doing that. So that is extremely vital to have good relationships with the people in and around the land that you are mining in. Kutcho is an accessible project with on-site and nearby infrastructure situated within moderate terrain. So you can see here, we talked about some of this: accessibility, port facilities, existing field camp, and First Nations. And the feasibility study headline reads and results, which we broke down most of these already, but you're welcome to take a look at them again. Huge, huge, huge potential, just enormous potential. And an efficient infrastructure layout. So you could see the entire layout of the infrastructure, how everything is situated. And the Kutcho project mine workings look like this. And the Kutcho Copper development timeline, feasibility study, and construction decision. Kutcho project covers 90% of the prospective Kutcho formation rocks, the Kutcho deposit, and the Kutcho Copper strong upside potential, which we believe to be extremely, extremely undervalued, underappreciated, and underexposed. Despite the fact that they've already been a rocket, we feel like they can go much, much higher. No significant exploration on the property since 1990. Multiple repeated VMS sulfide horizons are underexplored, which leads the company to believe that they're on the verge of something enormous. Absolutely enormous. Copper developers feasibility study re-rate opportunity. So you could see the opportunity here. And I am very bullish on copper. And upcoming catalysts. So obviously when you're looking into a stock, you always want to know what are the upcoming catalysts. This is a key focus point. So obviously they just did their feasibility study. That's what we're talking about today. Upcoming catalysts include opportunities, access road funding, resource reserve expansion, improved application of ore sorter technology, higher metal prices, potential to increase reserve base, and permitted milestones, permitting processing, progressing with commencement of economic participation agreement, negotiations with First Nations, near mine expansion, planning for near mine expansion program, including areas around main and summit lenses to grow the existing resource and illustrate potential for further mine life extension, and regional exploration, planning for ongoing systematic exploration of several underexplored greenfield targets. No significant exploration done on the property since 1990. High priority targets identified, including documented sulfide horizons, V10 conductors, and strongly altered volcanic rocks. And the management team, I've interviewed Vince Sirachi, president and CEO and director, and very impressed with him. Stay tuned to the interview. It should be coming out soon. 25 years of experience in capital markets, raised over $250 million in equity and debt financings. Very impressive. Prior roles included founder, president, and CEO of various private and public resource companies. So obviously doing a good job, and this is the rest of the team. All right, and the board of directors and advisory board. So a very strong team with many, many years of success and winners, and especially in the mining sector. So really, really star-studded team. And right here, Kutcho Copper, a clear path to production. So you can see here they have a clear path to production. And when you're investing in something, you want to know that they're undervalued, they're underappreciated, they're underexposed, and where are they going? This breaks down the potential for the company and clearly a clear path to production, a clear path to revenue growth, and hopefully a clear path to a lot of profitability and price appreciation for you, the investors. Strong financial support, major shareholders, Capstone Mining and Wheaton Precious Metals, support with financing package of 100 million Canadian, over 34 million already invested. So my goodness, like there's a lot of money already been put into this, and obviously they believe that the upside is tremendous. All right, that's all the contact details if you want to get in contact with the company. If you guys have any questions and technical information, feasibility study overview, we went through most of this already, and estimate mineral resources, we went through all of this as well. Went through this. So it's just pretty much going through some of the stuff that we already, and we went through this as well. So we went through most of this stuff already. It's just reiterating everything that we've already talked about. And we talked about this as well. So yeah, so this is a lot of the stuff we already went through. So love to know what you guys think of Kutcho Copper. Very bullish on copper, and the potential for this project is absolutely outstanding. And that's why they've obviously done extremely well, why the stock has done really well. The question is, where does it go from here? And we went through the cash flow summary, extremely impressive cash flow summary. So definitely the question is, where does it go from here? I think this is a company that has a long way to go, considering they're just getting started. And I'd love to know your opinion on Kutcho Copper. I'm a big fan of copper. And if you like copper stocks, you need to also be aware of Kutcho Copper. KC in Canada, KCCFF in America. We brought you winner after winner after winner. On Rich Picks Daily, we've got a Rich Pick section. We break down all of our picks there. We've done about 230 picks in the last couple of years. Our average pick is up over 300%. So we've had a really good track record of identifying undervalued, underappreciated, underexposed companies. Now, a lot of the companies we bring you are small cap. They're very volatile. They go up and down. The key is to buy on dips, sell on rips, buy when they're down, sell when they're high, lock in your profits, and build your vault. This is a stock that's clearly been up. Congratulations to anybody that's already won on this deal. I think that the upside is still tremendous from here. I think we could even 10x from here if they're able to execute their plan. So love to know what you guys think about these videos. What do you guys think about Kutcho Copper? Do you believe this is the right time to get in for the win? It's your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. We bring in the winners and we bring them to you first. If you're not winning, you're probably not watching. Bring in the winners and we bring them to you first. We break down the news, break down the deals, interview the CEOs, do the chart analysis, and we help our members win. So thank you guys. Let me just look at my crystal ball. My crystal ball says Kutcho Copper is a winner. It's been a winner, and it's going to continue to win big. That's what the crystal ball says. What do you guys think? Comment on the video. It's your boy Rich from Rich TV Live, and I'm out. Peace. Have a great trading day, everybody. Have a great trading week. Have a great trading month. Our club is up big. I'm up big. We're having a monster November. I hope you are as well. If you're not, join the club at richpigsdaily.com where you can win big. It's your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. And Rich Pigs Daily with Kutcho Copper Corp, KC in Canada, KCCFF in America. Don't sleep on it. It's a big winner, and I'm out. Peace.